Good afternoon and welcome to my video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different other than what's for breakfast, lunch, or brunch. I do have my snack here, which is a caramel waffle and a glass of tea and a little candle lit. And we're going to go over a couple books that I've read since my last one, which I talked about in a video. But what I did was we had went by the library, and I actually talked to the little helper at the desk there, the librarian or the assistant. I'm not sure which one she was, but she was very informative, very sweet girl, and she told us about how to download an app to be able to rent books on an app, which is great for me, so I don't have to venture out to the library. And that way I can go on air and just download it, listen to audiobooks and or read it from my phone. So, and this is the first time I've actually really listened to a full audiobook. And the one that I chose several, but there was some that was in waiting. And the one that I went with that was borrowed now was The Wife Between Us by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. And it's the first name is Greer, Greer, and then Sarah's last name is spelled Pekkanen. And like I said, it's an audiobook. And what it's kind of about is, I'm just going to kind of read this off. You will make many assumptions when you read this book. Are you reading about an ex-wife obsessed with her ex's new love? Is she still in love with him and will do anything to get him back? Is he who he seems to be? So that was an audiobook that I listened to, and I tell you, once probably about chapter 4 or 5, you're trying to figure out what's going on, what's this, what's the motive here, where's this book going, you make assumptions of what you think is going on, and then your assumptions change as you read throughout. So it was pretty good. I will say, you really, if you're listening to an audiobook, I really had to pay attention and go back to try to see what was going on. And then there was a couple like, oh, okay, moments in there. So I think I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The ending could have been a little bit more self-explanatory. There was a couple questions I still had, I'm gonna be honest, after reading it. But I'm glad, like I said, I stuck with it, because once you get into it, you don't want to stop, because you got to figure out what's going on, like what's going on here. So with that, I would recommend that if you wanted to kind of listen to a kind of suspenseful book, that's one to recommend. Another one that was popped up on my list was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Now, of course, I've been out there researching, which books are popular, which, must reads. And I have to say that one was an audiobook as well. And about an hour and a half into it, I stopped reading it. It's just not my cup of tea. And what I mean about that is it starts off, basically this girl is going to go stay with her brother. And when she gets off the elevator, it's with, there's a drunken guy outside of her brother's door. And the brother's like, hold on, let me call. And I can't think of the gentleman's name, but he's like, let me call so-and-so to help you. We'll come to figure out Mr. So-and-so is a drunk guy outside the door. And then I'm listening to it, but then it gives me like, this kind of young vibe. When you're reading it, kind of, I would say like a frat boy vibe. I know that's probably not the best way. And, she seems kind of like young, like in her early 20s, and, the banter back and forth between them. I just couldn't get into that. That wasn't my genre of what I wanted to read. So I deleted that one. And then I rented or borrowed Never Have I Ever by Joshilyn Jackson. And that too is an audiobook. And that one I'm really enjoying. I'm on chapter 15 out of 20. I downloaded it the other day, so I think this is day 2 into it. And basically, when a seamlessly innocent game of never have I ever unravels secrets of a dark past. Very keeps you wondering what's going on. Very, I'm trying not to give it away because I really recommend that you either rent or read that if that's something that you're into. Really into the characters to say. And basically this lady, group of ladies have a book club, and this unexpected guest shows up, and this, things just start to unravel. I recommend that you download or rent that or buy that from your local library or bookstore. Me personally, I'm going to listen to it. That's a good way to, for one, save money, but two, that way you can enjoy books if you're not into collecting a lot of books all over your house. And then I made a mistake because, like I said, I wouldn't say a mistake, but, I have to line up my book reads now that I have this app. But I went in and also reserved Verity. I got to make sure I pronounce this right. Verity, Verity. And that is by Colleen Hoover. Verity by Colleen Hoover. And as soon as it popped up on my ready to borrow list, I read the first chapter of it, because this is not an audiobook. It's one that you actually can, look at it on your phone, but it's actually pages on your phone, kind of like, I guess, like a Nook or something like that will have. And basically, it's a psychological thriller. I'm only in chapter 2, going into chapter 3, because I'm finishing up Never Have I Ever on audio. And then Verity, I'm going to read, right after that. But I couldn't help myself. I read the first sentence of chapter 1, and I was immediately like, okay, I want to see where this is going. I really, really, really hope that you all, I called my friend. I know I'm about to go because I'm excited about this book. I called my friend and I told her, I was like, let me tell you about this book. And I told her about the ones on the list that I had told you all about. And then also about Verity. And I told her, I'm going to need you to either go to your library, go to the bookstore and library, read the first chapter, and or download it on your phone. But I'm going to want you to read this with me because I want to tell you about it, but I want you to read it so we can discuss it. So I think I've started a little book club here. I think I have. And I hope that you all who are watching this, if you stayed on with me, that you will rent this book, download this book, borrow this book. Like I said, it's up to you if you want to buy it or not. But I think it's going to be a great read. And I'm curious, if you have read it, please do not give away what's going to happen in the comments below. But if you are going to read it, or if you recommend any books, please put in a comment below, and we will follow up on this book club. I'm going to call it a book club and see how this ends. I have 7 days to rent this book, or borrow. I keep saying rent. I guess rent, borrow is the same thing. To borrow this book from the app. And I'm hoping by 7 days I will be finished with it, if not before then. And then that way we'll give a quick little review without giving away what happens in the case others are reading the book as well. Well, thanks for watching. And again, go and get this book, Verity, or any of the others that I mentioned, to see what you think. And we'll follow up. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.